All right, I finally get to do another one of these fun kiln unloading videos. I've collected a few things from probably 2 or 3 different glaze firings I've done over the past month or so. A lot of standard functional work that I'll sell. Also a couple cool little projects that I've been working on. One being doing some glaze testing. So I actually have a whole video with all kinds of results, all kinds of these little test tiles that have come out of the kiln. So still fine tuning some things, working on, adding a few more glazes to the glaze options. Here's probably the biggest project I've done in the past month or so. Another order, 10 of each design from a local organization here. So I got those finished up, about to box them up. And then I pulled out probably, 20 or so just out of this last firing, just blanks. These will have decals on them in the future. So they'll turn into, like these world map mugs, or I might put some, knife designs around them. Bees. I've actually got a couple other ideas that I'm cooking up, some newer designs for those decal mugs. Also, just finished this. Somebody bought one of these mugs years ago from me, this bee design, and it was their favorite mug, but it broke. And so somebody asked me if I could make another one for them. So here is the bee mug. I do like the bees, so I might make some more of those. Here's kind of just a random bowl. Feel like it's a good size. And then the rest is a lot of plant kind of stuff. I've actually been experimenting with some bonsai pots, just trying to figure out, the feet and the holes, shapes and sizes. So I think I showed off one or two of these already in one of the studio update videos, but I feel like these turned out pretty decent for a trial run. And then here's one with the it actually has the same glaze, just thicker, so you get the greenish color coming through. And it's over kind of a crawl, I forget, maybe coyote crawl glaze, white crawl. So interesting stuff. Fun to just experiment. Trying different feet on the bottom, seeing what works. And then here's probably my favorite out of the 3 big ones. I just love the way this one turned out. And so I'm not sure exactly what kind of tree is supposed to go in here. I've got some junipers that I've kind of hacked up, turned them into bonsais. So maybe I'll try one of those in one of these and see what happens. And then a lot of smaller trial pots. So here's one, just, experiment with some shape and size. Just, dip this whole thing in the glaze just to be quick, just for a trial. But then I started actually, thinking about some things, and this one I actually threw on the wheel and then stretched it out into an oval while it was still wet, and then drilled the holes in after I got to leather hard. Added the little feet down here. So I don't know, turned out okay. Here's a smaller oval. This one threw the sides on the wheel and then rolled out a slab for the bottom and then attached it. So I like how this one turned out. Good color. Kind of been trying some different things to get the inside glaze free and then glaze the outside. Eventually I will probably do some more unglazed ones. Well, I've got some kind of a warm brown stoneware that I think will look good, just bare clay. A couple blue ones. Round, I only did 3 holes in the bottom because I did 3 feet. I don't know if that even makes sense, but it turned out okay. Here's an oval shape. Same blue. Turned out real nice. And then a couple more, kind of squared some of them off. Kind of rectangle. Green looks real nice on this one. And then kind of a little square. Kind of with the more the nubby feet. So coming along. I like how some of them are turning out. I've also been doing, just some quick, easy planters. Here's one. thinner glaze, so it's mostly brown. This one's a little bigger. The glaze got a little thicker. I love how this one turned out. You can kind of see the green where it's a little bit more smooth, and then the brown really shows up in the texture. I mean, I think that's what I'm going for. So it looks pretty good. And then, you know, I've made just a whole bunch of them. I'll put some plants in here, maybe sell them for hopefully not too much. Save the best one for last. The local organization that works with kids, I donated something to their fundraiser last year. So they asked if I could donate something again. And I said, do you have any ideas? And they showed me their theme. And so this is kind of based on their theme for this fundraiser. Kind of about growth and strong roots and stuff. So I think it turned out pretty nice. This is actually texture on there. So I added the texture while it was still wet on the wheel, added a little extra slip on there, and then kind of did the texture. And then added a little black underglaze in the cracks, and then a little bit of white on top just to make that stand out a little bit more under the blue glaze. Sprayed the blue glaze on. I actually sprayed some of this brownish green along the edge. I thought I could get a little bit more of a green color, then I realized that's actually from cobalt and iron. The greenish brown glaze is just cobalt and iron, so it just kind of darkened it up a little bit around the edge. But turned out real nice. I like it. So hopefully they like it as well. Hopefully it gets a little money for their organization. All right, so those are the highlights from the past, month or so. I'll leave you with a question. A couple cups. Which one do you prefer? Do you like the blue and the white or the green and the brown? So you can leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know if you have any questions about anything. And thank you for watching. I will see you on the next one.